What's up, guys? And Navajero here. Really excited to be bringing you guys this knife that I think you probably have seen a ton of videos that a lot of knife YouTubers have made over the past few days and weeks. This is the Ozark Trail Valor. A lot of people have been really talking about this one and hyping it up, and for good reason. It is definitely a amazing value for what you're getting and something that is readily available at your local Walmart, or you can get it online at Walmart. I will actually link it down below. No affiliate link or anything, but just so you guys are able to kind of check it out and see the details. Maybe you guys can check it out at your local Walmart. Okay, so before anything, I do want to say, because of the hype and everything, people have been calling this, the ultimate, budget knife of the year, and saying that, for what it is, it's, the greatest and all that. I don't really like to go out of my way in saying that one particular knife is the greatest at anything. Obviously, that's just everyone's opinion. What I will say is that I definitely don't like to just jump on a hype train and start, making videos on unboxing them and just the features and stuff. I like to kind of use it, test it out, and kind of give you my honest feedback and opinion before I just tell you how much I, love it and it's the greatest or anything. So that being said, let me get into this cutting, which again, I found some very particular things that I found interesting with this. So let's get into some cutting. All right, guys, so here it is. Very excited to test this one out, especially because, everybody and their mama has been talking about it. And here we're just going through normal cardboard, and it was doing quite well. I tried using kind of the Tanto, tip right there just to make the first cut, but it was cutting pretty well. Again, 14C 28N is amazing at this price point, which I hadn't mentioned. Is around $20, which is unbelievable. That's great to see them really diving into the budget realm with great blade steel. And again, cutting through, and a little bit of a hang up right here. I did see a prior video of the other Ozark Trail, the orange one, that a lot of people were talking about how soft the D2 steel was on that, and maybe, burnt edges on it, things like that. Of course, it all depends, really. I'm not too much of a guy that really looks into the hardness ranges and stuff. If it's something where I notice it, then I will. And in this case, I hadn't noticed it until a little bit further on into the cutting, and you will see what I'm talking about. So that's really what I wanted to kind of point out here for you guys. This is double wall cardboard, and it was doing, okay with it. I could definitely feel some resistance. And surprisingly, I also saw that this has a hollow grind on it, which is great. I mean, they're giving you a really awesome grind that is known for the sliciness. And I'll go into more detail on that. But as you can see here, it is getting hung up. And it kind of started, making me question, like, well, what's going on, At this point, I did give it a little bit of a honing just to see if maybe, I don't know, something was getting hung up on it. Maybe there was a chip or something. I don't know. But, using the tip right here just to do kind of draw cuts also, which it did great. I love the shape of this, kind of like Tanto, blade right here. It's awesome. I really enjoyed using that, which surprisingly, it has the tip still kind of down. But right here, again, this right here is where I started really just noticing it just keeps getting hung up. It's not doing the slicing that it should be doing. Right here, just again, the side cuts right here, you should be able to go through that, and it just is getting hung up. I can feel the resistance on it. The hollow grind on this is a bit low, and I'll point that out a little bit more when I'm at my desk again. But again, I can feel it getting dull, and that's where the issue is with this one. I feel like maybe just the steel is a bit too soft, and it loses its edge. So again, I'm doing these, side cuts right here, and it's getting hung up. I mean, that should not happen. A knife in 14C28N and previous models I've had from different companies, I will have them for a week of hard use at work, and at home, and there is no issue with the edge. So that really surprised me. Here I just wanted to show off again kind of that tanto shape and how you can utilize it. If you have tubing or anything like this that you need to do push cuts, it's awesome. This tanto style blade tip, you can just use it to press down and make these cuts. Now here I wanted to test out, I started doing kind of stress tests on locking mechanism specifically. So I kind of stab it into the wood right here, disengage it and engage it, and here give it a couple spine whacks, and it did great. It held up great. The action on here is surprisingly great. So a lot going for it, but again, I go back to the edge retention, which kind of blew my mind. But yeah, that was it. Okay, guys, so yeah, now that we have that, out of the way, let's get some measurements out real quick. From here, pretty much, we have a total of 7.5 inches from tip to butt, 3.25-inch blade, and a 4.25-inch handle right here. We have a blue finish on this anodized aluminum, which honestly looks great. I do not like blue handles most of the time, just because they're like bright blue. I don't know what it is. I just tend to not really like it. But this is actually looking a little bit lighter in the camera, but in person it's a dark blue, almost like a navy blue. It's really nice. It is quite slick, but I feel like it's not too slick. It's really, it's whatever. The actual blade on here, it says it has a titanium coating. This is kind of like a bronze finish on here. So you can see right here, if you're able to make that out, titanium coating on the 14C28N. I know sometimes when they put coatings on blades, it brings down the HRC. So, that might be something, to where we can maybe point to of how that edge retention is holding up, and how, in reality, it's not holding up. It has a hollow grind on here, guys. If you're able to see, very, small hollow grind on there. Not sure if you're able to actually make that out, guys. You see if on this side, you see the light shining through right there. You just gotta believe me, it is a hollow grind on there. And it's definitely something where I like the fact that they gave us a hollow grind. I mean, that's awesome. But I think because of how the broadness of the blade isn't too, high up, it kind of works the opposite in the sliciness factor of this knife. So because of the grind starting off so down right here, and it is, quite a thin, not a, man, how can I explain this? It's not a high profile knife. So pretty much as soon as you make the cut, you're already up to almost the beginning of this grind right here. So it gets wide really quick. So I think, again, that does not help the sliciness, because it goes from really thin to abruptly thick, and it gets caught up. I think that's what's happening. I mean, I might be wrong, but that's just how I'm feeling it when I'm cutting. And it kind of, worked the opposite with giving this a hollow grind. If they would have given it a flat grind and made, the grind up a higher a bit, I think that would have been better. Blade stock thickness on here, I'm not completely sure of. I want to say it looks to be about maybe 0.11 to 0.12. This is a 0.12 thickness knife right here. Oh yeah, this is not, yeah, no. I want to say 0.11 maybe. I'm not sure on the blade stock thickness, but again, regardless of the fact, I think there's something to the effect of that hollow grind and how it gets so thick so quickly, that is affecting the sliciness. Other than that, man, I really dig the style of this. The blue with the bronze, that's a nice look. I mean, with the black thumb studs on here, again, just nice. It's really, really nice. They did a really good job as far as like the overall design that they were like going for, something that stood out and aesthetically, you know, is pleasing to the eyes. They did a great job. The action on here, running on bearings, really, really good. Nice thumb action. You can reverse flick this. I mean, this is a perfect knife if you want to get into, you know, an axis lock or a bar lock, or they call it a slide lock, I think they call it. Yeah, slide lock. So yeah, whatever they call it, it's a bar lock, axis lock, whatever. It's really smooth. It's really good. They did a great job. Nice tension on the Omega springs. So, you know, it flicks out really, really nice. Nice ergonomic handle, nothing too special about it. You got your pocket clip right here that you somewhat feel, but I think it's very, very comfortable in hand. And it's somewhat contoured, the actual handles on here. It kind of swoops down right here. So that's nice. Again, they're giving you a lot for the price. And again, we're back to the price of $20, $21.64 here in Nevada with the taxes, which is amazing for what you're getting. Nice thumb studs on here as well. Really nice and grippy, really thwacks out. The actual jimping on the blade, which they're giving you jimping. A lot of companies don't give you jimping, is really nice. Feels really good on your thumb. It's perfectly placed, I think. Obviously, they could have given you more. I would have been more than pleased with more, but this is fine for what you pretty much need. Nice jimping, feels really, really good, nice and grippy. 14C28N, I absolutely love it, but again, we go back to the hardness that it should be at. Again, I'm not the type, you know, go watch Neves or go watch, you know, some other people that can tell you more about, you know, HRCs and all that stuff. All the HRC boys out there will probably be able to tell you better than me, but I'm just telling you what I feel from, you know, real life use of this thing. It does not feel as, you know, well hardened, and it's not maintaining an edge as other 14C blades I have had personally. I love the blade shape on here. Really cool, you know, Tonto style blade with the tip pointed somewhat down, so it is, you know, fairly easy to do utility cuts, which I absolutely love. So yeah, it's really versatile. It's a really versatile blade, really good looking. You have a backspacer here with a lanyard hole. I wish they would have given it a whole frame instead of giving you this little plastic end right here. I think that kind of looks cheap, but it is a cheap knife, so I mean, I guess you can't really argue that. You have some internal milling in here, if you're able to see that through the camera, which is, you know, nice. This is coming in, I believe, around 4 ounces. So, you know, it's a good, decent weight. It feels weighty. It feels good. I don't think it's too heavy. It's perfect, I think, for what it is. 7.5 inches. So you're getting a, you know, good, decent EDC size knife right there that you can carry, and I think is perfect, especially for somebody that wants an upgrade from maybe just a, you know, no name knife. You can get this one, and it is somewhat of a name now. Ozark Trail is definitely making their own path in the knife game now, and you're getting really good features and I think better quality than most. So yeah, this is crazy for what you're getting for the price. Just the only thing that I'm gonna, you know, keep going back to is that blade steel that feels just a bit too soft. Another thing, it has a captive pivot. That's awesome. I mean, there's a lot to like. The pocket clip on here is great. It functions really well, nice retention. I wish they would have just used this screw instead of having two separate screws on here to make it completely deep carry, but it's fine, and it is reversible. No plate on here to cover that little tab, but it's fine, you know, no whatever. For 20 bucks, I mean, you're getting a sweet deal, honestly. Really quickly, I want to do some size comparisons. Here is the QSB Penguin, along with, you know, the size right here. It is a little bit bigger than the Penguin. Let's compare it to the CJRB Pyrite right here. A little bit bigger than the Pyrite. And then let's do, I had this one out already, the CRKT Pilar 3. Somewhat, a little. I think it's very, very close to the pillar. And then lastly, maybe the para 3. A little bit bigger than the para 3 right there. So yeah, guys, another thing I wanted to kind of like look into is the actual coating on here. Let me actually scratch this coating right here to see how good. And then this is kind of, you know, it's dirty and stuff just because I was, you know, using it kind of hard. Let me wipe it down first and kind of see if those marks go away, to see how that coating actually, you know, is when you want to clean it. So let me clean this off a little bit with some alcohol. A little bit of like tape gunk and stuff on there, a little bit of a cardboard, you know, and yeah, it doesn't seem to be coming off all the actual like scratches and stuff. So again, I'm not sure if this titanium coating, you know, is the best option, but as you can tell, I wiped it down there with alcohol and you can still see some, you know, leftover kind of like damage from all the cardboard I was cutting, as you can tell right there. Now let's just go ahead and straight up scratch it here. I'm gonna use my NAF's little driver right here with a Weehaw bit, and I'm just gonna straight up scratch it right here and just see how that goes. Let me wipe it down here a little bit just so we can see. And there it is right there. I'm not sure if you guys can make that out. I'll zoom it in. Actually, let's do it over here on top of the Ozark trail. Let's do a good hard scratch. All right, there it is right there. Yeah, a little bit on there. I mean, yeah, it's gonna mark up, you know, definitely with time. But I mean, does it look cool? Yeah. I mean, if you're not really doing anything crazy with it, I mean, it doesn't really matter. But, you know, again, the cardboard and stuff, it doesn't come off, you know, all the cardboard cutting I was doing. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. So for 20 bucks, do I recommend it? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I recommend it. You're gonna have to probably sharpen it a good amount. You're probably gonna have to sharpen it every other day. But I mean, it's a cool knife. I can definitely recommend it, especially since it's accessible at, you know, Walmart and stuff. You can just go in and buy it. I like the idea. I like where they're going with this. I really do enjoy, you know, I really did enjoy this knife. So everything as far as like the materials and what they were trying to go for, I think was a success. But the actual finish, I think needed a little bit more, especially with the steel. But yeah, there's a lot to like on this, and I can see why people were hyping it up, but let's pump the brakes a little bit and make sure that we address that soft steel, guys. All right. If you guys enjoyed this, go ahead and drop a like. Comment down below what you guys think about this. Be honest. If you like it, let me know. If you hate it, let me know. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Consider subscribing, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Later.